Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I welcome you to English grade 7 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well and you're enjoying your learning. My dear learners, we know that we are dealing with unit number 3 of grade 7 and the title is Paradise or Paradise Lost. This is our lecture number 1A with the competency of grammar. And now let's see what we are supposed to do in this competency. Let's begin by reading our students' learning outcome for this video lesson. So our SLO is identify and use personal pronouns. For example, he, she, they, her, his, him, their, them. Demonstrative like this and that. Interrogative which, who, reciprocal, each other, and indefinite pronouns, for example, anybody, somebody. My dear learners, we are going to talk about different types of pronouns in this SLO and specifically the pronouns like personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, and reciprocal pronouns. And also, we will be dealing with indefinite pronouns later. Now, let's explore each of these mentioned pronouns one by one. But let me remind you, my dear learners, this is linked with the previous grades SLO that you have already covered. So, I think you should remember most of it and recall your whole understanding and learning about different types of pronouns. Now, after this, we have a very quick brainstorming session in which we have a question that can you name or can you list all the different types of pronouns that you know? Yes. Think about it. You can note them down in your head or on the paper. Come up with all the different kind of pronouns that you know. Now, moving on to the topic which is about pronouns. As we know, it's a part of speech, and now let's recall it from your book page 19. If you remember that pronouns are words we use in the place of noun. We have both subject and object pronouns called personal pronouns. So we know that we use pronouns instead of noun to avoid repetition, and in the personal pronouns, we have subject and object pronouns. Now, let's see that in the personal pronouns, we have subject pronouns and object pronouns. They are mentioned over here. For subject, in order to replace the subject using a pronoun, we have I, she, he, you, it, they, and us. For replacing objects and to avoid repetition, we have the object pronouns like me, her, him, you, it, them, and we. So these are falling in our personal pronouns. So all these subject and object pronouns, you should remember them and use them carefully. My dear learners, we talked about subject and object pronouns. We mean to say subjective and objective cases. Now let's try to understand them using some examples. Now for the objective case, we have a sentence, the teacher called him. Him is the object here, and we use this personal pronoun to replace the object's name, object noun again and again. We just use this noun which comes under the object noun, which is a personal noun, personal pronoun. So here another example is of subjective case or subjective personal pronoun. The example is she went to the market. Now this noun that we replaced with the pronoun is a personal pronoun, and in this case, if this is a subject, hence we use the subjective case that we saw in the previous slide. Now let's read another example in the subjective case where we have to replace the subject with a personal pronoun or subject pronoun, Sarah and I are going. Now, here we replaced the writer of the sentence's name with I. So now this is also a personal pronoun and it's a subject. So in the subjective case, we use this personal pronoun. In the objective case, the sentence is, the gift is for Sarah and me. Now, this is the object, and for this part, we replaced the object's name with a personal pronoun. Hence, we call it a personal pronoun in the objective case. So we saw both these examples of different cases. Now, my dear learners, let's talk about the next pronoun that we are dealing with in the student's learning outcome, which is demonstrative pronoun. Now, let's try to read the examples first. This is Hina's dress. That's my mother's purse. We can do better than that. And who is that standing at the door? So this and that, these are our two demonstrative pronouns. Also, we have used that over here and over here. This is Hina's dress. We use this for something that is near and that for something that's a little further. Now, let's look at more examples of demonstrative pronouns. These are hens, but those are ducks. These is used for plural, and those is also used for plural. These is used for something that is near, and those is used for something in the plural form that is farther. So those are horses. It demonstrates that the horses are a little further, and you'll have to work harder than this. Upon this beautiful planet, let's live with unity. Now, this is referring to the planet which is the closest. Now, this, that, these, and those. These are our demonstrative pronouns using for something which is near, either it's singular or plural, and something that is farther, far from us, either it's singular or plural. Now, let's now read the definition and try to understand it. Demonstrative pronouns are used for pointing out things. We point out things by using these demonstrative pronouns. The words this, that, these, and those are demonstrative pronouns. We use this and these when you are talking about things near you. Use that and those when you are talking about things farther away, things that are far from you. So these are our four demonstrative pronouns, and we also saw them, how do we use them in both singular and plural forms. Now, let's move on to interrogative pronouns. My dear learners, if you remember, interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions. The words who, whose, what, which, and whom are interrogative pronouns, and they are generally coming at the very first word of the sentence. Let's look at an example. Who is your favorite coach? Who is your football coach? Now, this is a question. We use this interrogative pronoun who at the start, and which one do you prefer, which is also a interrogative pronoun. Whose pen is this? With whom is the principal talking? So we have all these different interrogative pronouns that come in sentences that are in the form of questions, in the form of interrogative sentences. And we have all these different kind of interrogative pronouns: whose, who, what, which, and whom. and we use them generally at the start of the sentence. Now, let's talk about reciprocal pronouns. A reciprocal pronoun is used to express a mutual action or relationship. There are two reciprocal pronouns in total. They are each other and one another. So these are our two reciprocal pronouns. Now we learned that reciprocal pronoun is used to express mutual action and relationship. Let's try to see if they have in our sentences. For example, Sanya and Anila like each other. Now we use this reciprocal pronoun each other because Sanya and Anila, they both show the same action, the mutual action of liking each other, and they have a relationship because of the liking that they show towards each other. So they go in both ways. That's why we use this reciprocal pronoun. Note that Sanya likes Anila and Anila likes Sanya. The action is reciprocal, the action is mutual, and they have a relationship. They gave each other presents. Have you seen each other's solutions? Now, the presents are given from both the sides. That's why we use each other as our reciprocal pronoun. Have you seen each other's solutions? Again, this is talking about the mutual action of showing solutions to each other. Now, each other is treated as singular. It means you will be treating these as singular, and therefore the possessive apostrophe is placed before the s. Now, you can clearly see that if you want to show possession or apostrophe, you will be using the apostrophe after the end of the word. The team members played their hearts out for one another. They played their hearts out. They are showing a mutual action and a relationship. Hence, we use the reciprocal pronoun one another. They deliberately blocked one another's number. One another is treated as singular. Therefore, the possessive apostrophe is placed before the s. So, my dear learners, if you want to show possessive apostrophe, you will use them like we normally use it, and both these each other and one another will be used as a singular. Now, let's look at some more examples. The two friends always help each other with their homework. They're helping each other, showing a mutual action and having a relationship because of this. Then we will be using the reciprocal pronoun. The competitors respected each other despite the rivalry. Next, we have an example. The team members congratulated one another after winning the match. Again, the action is mutual and they have a relationship because everyone congratulated everyone. So hence we use the reciprocal pronoun one another. In the meeting, everyone listened to one another's idea. So, my dear learners, there is a general rule, a very common one, that if there are two persons involved, then we use each other, and if there are more than two persons, then we will be using one another. Now, here is a very quick simulation video for your better understanding. It's available in the link form and also in the description of the video. You can watch it later for enhancing your understanding. Now, from your page 20, we have this classroom activity for this lesson. This activity is for practice. You have to work individually and fill in the blanks with suitable demonstrative pronouns. Now, you know that demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, and those. You will be using them efficiently in the activity. Again, we have an activity. Imagine that you are tasked with helping a person find their lost pet. To gather essential information and clues, you will create a questionnaire with relevant questions to ask the person. Use your creativity and empathy to construct questions that will aid in locating the missing pet. Make questions using interrogative pronouns such as what type of pet is it? Dog, cat, bird, etc. So, if you remember that interrogative pronouns, we talked about all the different pronouns in which we use in asking questions in interrogative sentences. These kind of pronouns are our interrogative pronouns. You can use them in your um, to solve this classroom activity. Now, here is a worksheet for your understanding. This will be distributed to you by your teacher to put your ideas and put your learning into practice. For your homework, you have to write the correct pronoun or pronouns that replace the underlined nouns. If the pronoun is already in the sentence, repeat it on the line. For example, Sandy bought a coffee from that coffee shop. You have to mention that if you can replace Sandy with she, and you can replace coffee with the object it. So we can say that she bought it from the coffee shop. Now you can solve the rest of the fill in the blanks by yourself, and we are here at the end of our video lesson with some resources for your better understanding. They are easily available for you in the description of the video. They are worksheet, presentation, lesson plan, a question bank, and also a skill sheet. All these are available for your help. My dear learners, thank you for listening, and I hope that you had a great time learning about our topic that we covered in the SLO today. Till the next video lesson, Allah Hafiz.